totally am not going to mansplain anything to you in this video. You get enough of that. And you already know the basics of financial independence, right? Spend less than you make more money, pay off debt, save and invest, blah, 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 blah. You've heard all those things. And you know you need to do those types of things, but maybe you're trying them and you're not seeing results as quickly as you want. Or maybe you're like actually super concerned if something changes and knocks you off course. What should you do to prepare for the, life's inevitable, changes? Plus, like, who wants financial independence later? You want to enjoy life now. And it doesn't matter as much what happens later. And I totally hear you. That's why I want to take a different approach to where to start for financial independence. And I'm super pumped to share this different approach with you. Welcome to the FIFE Movement. I'm your host, Amanda Neely. This is the only movement that helps our generation create our unique, feminine, and entrepreneurial path to financial independence. And so I thought I should take on, what does that path look like? Where do you start? What is the beginning steps? And so I'm going to do that in today's video as well as the next one. So be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you get notifications. And of course, we'll be building on this over time as well. So for now, let me start by asking you a few questions. If you were going to go on a hike at a state park this weekend, what would you do to prepare? Probably not much. You could wake up the day of, put on your best walking shoes that you don't mind getting dirty, grab a water bottle and a snack, make sure your phone is charged, and then set your GPS to get you there. Easy, right? Piece of cake. You could do that pretty simply. Now, what if you were going to take a 1-month hike across Spain or on the Appalachian Trail? For that, you'd likely need to prepare a lot more. What would you need? Maybe a couple pairs of shoes, and you'd have to plan your outfits really carefully. Maybe even get a new bag that helps you pack efficiently, but keep everything light and easy to carry. You need to plan all your meals and sleeping arrangements throughout the month. You need maybe a solar charger or something to keep your phone charged. You need to plan your route. You'd likely read or listen or connect with people who have done it before. And of course, you got to worry about the money side, right? How are you going to make up for the lost income, or how are you going to save up the PTO so that your income doesn't change? Plus, you have to arrange for all your bills to be paid and your home to be taken care of while you're gone. And the list goes on and on. There's so many things you prepare if it was a month hike versus a 1 mile hike, say, on the weekend. Now, if you're going on a big adventure, you kind of know the first thing you do is figure out what you need to do to prepare. And if you're anything like me, the preparations for that big adventure are a big part of the adventure in and of itself, right? The preparation is part of the joy. And it's almost like you do the adventure several times in your head and then in real life, because you're doing in your head to make sure you haven't missed anything you need to prepare for, and all that kind of thing. Well, financial independence is a lot like a big adventure than like a couple hour hike in the woods. And I don't believe you can just go at it all willy-nilly. You risk getting lost or confused or just giving up and getting the first flight back to your comfortable place. Or you risk getting to the end with permanent damage or in a different spot than you intended. Plus, the adventure toward financial independence and becoming more and more financially independent every day is an adventure in and of itself. And it can be really fun when we treat it like an adventure. And that's why my first step that I think would be a great step to take is to begin with the end in mind. Spend some time visualizing what you want financial independence to look like. Don't rush into defining what financial independence means to you. Sure, your definition might change over time, but the clearer you have it in your mind from the beginning, the clearer your steps will be to get there, and the more you'll see ways to improve that definition. Plus, you can start incorporating some of your unique definition of financial independence into your journey of getting there. I'll talk about how to do that here in a couple minutes. But for now, for a lot of people, this step is the hardest. How do we visualize something that seems so far away and maybe even impossible from our current position? You might be saying in your head, Amanda, you're crazy thinking I can live some of financial independence now, let alone get there. Well, I've got a few ideas for you, depending on your learning style of how you might begin with the end in mind when it comes to financial independence. First idea, if you learn from reading, find some books written by people who seem to have the freedom that you'd like to have. You can read the books they've written, record what you like about their story that you'd like to be part of your own. Just like look for someone who's where you're at and read things they've written and about where they are, and how they got there. So for example, if you want to be a writer, that's what financial independence means to you, is you can write whatever you feel like writing. Then read a book like Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott, who's a writer, and she talks about the whole writing process and what it's like to be a writer. That would be an awesome way to help define the end so you can begin with that end in mind. Maybe instead you don't like to read, but you learned from mindfulness exercises like journaling or meditation. Well, then spend some time journaling thoughts and ideas about financial independence without filtering. And through that, you'll probably get a lot more clarity. Or if you're more meditative, set aside time in your meditation practice to open your mind and listen to your body or a higher power and see what comes in terms of what financial independence looks like for you from that. Maybe it's just more time to meditate. I don't know. You'll know more than you know now, right? But you already know more than own now. You already know more than you know now. You just need to tune into it to help make your definition of financial independence clearer. If you learn more from experiences, then try some new things that you think you might like to do when you're financially independent. Go ahead and start that small side hustle. That's, the business that you'd start if you were financially independent. Try your hand at writing that novel if writing's what you would do, right? Travel to a new place. If financial independence for you is all about travel and the being location independent or whatever it is. Just as you do these little experiments to experience financial independence, pay attention to what you like and consider how financial independence would get more of that into your life. You'll see more clearly the end and how to get there. And then if you're like a lot of people I know, you might learn best from talking with people, hashing it out together, being around people that are on the same journey. Then do that. Grab your friends, grab a life partner, set up a time with me, join a Facebook group, whatever it is. And don't be shy about talking about money when you're just talking about what you'd love to see and getting clearer on your unique definition of financial independence. Use those conversations and those relationships to just dream and allow that dreaming and feedback from other people and things like that to help you get clearer and clearer on what financial independence is to you. Now, for any of these, if you're like, I mean, yeah, you told me where to start, but I still don't really know where to start. What could I do even before I grab a book or start journaling or meditating or start talking to people or try some of those experiences? I think for any of these, you could start with a really simple question and just sit with this question until you feel like you kind of know how you'd answer this question. Not 100%, but maybe like 80%, Okay, here's the question. If I had all the time and money in the world, what would I do? If I had all the time and money in the world, what would I do? And whatever your answer is, there's probably a hint of financial independence within that answer that you could start to read about or journal or meditate about. Try it in some way to experience it and see if that's true, or just chat about it with someone you know or that you meet on the interwebs or me. What I've found is that taking this step of getting clearer on what financial independence means to you first, then makes all the other steps like saving more, paying off bad debt, living within your means, and so forth, makes all those steps a whole lot easier and more effective because you know your why. You know your end, you have it in mind, and you're going to move toward it very precisely. Sure, you'll make some mistakes along the way, still, everyone does, but you'll be in a much better place because you have that definition, you have that dream, you have that clarity. Plus, all those kind of tastes of financial independence along the way are going to be priceless experiences and motivation for you all along the journey. So that's where I think you should start with financial independence. You can join me next time for what to do next when you have that unique idea of financial independence clearer and the next step to take. You might even take this next step while you're still defining financial independence for yourself. They can happen at the same time. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to cut any expenses like an oat milk latte from an independent coffee shop. Ooh, that actually sounds really nice. I need to go get one of those. For now, thanks for joining me and connecting with the FIFE movement. As you go about your day today, remember, wealth is coming your way. Your quest is to prepare for using it well. For more tips on how to prepare, please be sure to subscribe. And to connect with the community, visit fifemovement.com. My gift has helped you today. Please pay that gift forward by sharing this content with a friend. My gratitude in advance. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. To help this video be seen by more people, please help the algorithms out by hitting that like button and leaving your feedback or comment below. What would you do if you had all the time and money in the world? And how is that giving you a sneak peek at your unique definition of financial independence? Peace.